What's up everyone, Brian Phobos here. Today we're going to talk about BitShares and why the price is going up so much. Now what is BitShares? It's basically a decentralized exchange. And why would that be important? A lot of these countries who are locking down access or getting more restrictive on identification related stuff, it makes sense that something like BitShares that is decentralized, where you control the keys, and if you don't control the keys, you don't own the coins. Something like this makes a lot more sense than things like Bittrex, Poloniex, Binance, Cryptopia. You know, obviously with the stuff where you get money from fiat into the crypto world, then, you know, things like Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, those kind of things, you have to somehow get some money in usually, but once you're in, you know, kind of thing, you want to hopefully control your keys to some respects. If you are on the centralized exchanges like Bittrex, Poloniex, those kind of things, it's kind of one of those things like get on, get off kind of thing as much as possible. So let's take a look at BitShares. Right now, ranked 24th, and a lot of these coins that lived through the crypto nuclear winter of 2015 and then even into 2016 had this long drawn out period, and then it shot up, and then people took profits. They were like, oh, finally I can sell out and get some profits. We had this cool off, quick cool off, boom, we're up again. You see that on Digibyte, you see it on Vertcoin, Grostal coin, you see it on all the older coins that had a long period of waiting. So anyway, it continues to go. This is Google Trends. Where is the search is coming from for BitShares? China. Makes a lot of sense, guys. Think about it. China blocked ICOs. China has all these restrictions on these exchanges to where they can't connect to bank accounts. You know, they're shut down partially and all this kind of stuff. And so people in China want to buy crypto, so they're looking for alternatives to these centralized exchanges. So they're gravitating towards things like BitShares. Also, for things like BitUSD, some of the exchanges that are still operating over in places like China needed something to peg to things like the US dollar or to the Chinese currency. So let's take a look at this. So there's BitGold, BitUSD, and then BitCYN, CNY, I mean, for the Chinese currency. Where's the one I'm looking for? BitShares to BitCYN. So they're able to peg to fiat currencies, being able to peg to gold. And so these exchanges, instead of using Tether, because there was a $30 million Tether hack, they're able to peg to the fiat currencies using this, creating the ability to sort of form what they were able to do with the exchanges that were connected to bank accounts, but do it in the crypto world where they control keys. Now, BitUSD is actually a debt on BitShares. You have to put BitShares up as collateral. So if you want to sort of convert things to BitUSD, you have to buy BitShares and use it as collateral to buy this. Look at the market cap blow up. Would you look at that? So the market cap's blowing up because these Chinese exchanges are, you know, basically utilizing this now, and then also Chinese people, you know, buying into this stuff and then maybe pegging to certain things to trade. You can seek shelter in something that's pegged to something. And for the most part, it keeps this peg pretty well. Had a dip here, recovered. When it gets super volatile, you'll see bigger dips. But 96 cents, it is rising. It was actually down to 93 a little earlier. But usually you just have to wait on it, and it will get back up to the peg when the volatility calms down. Stuff like Steem backed dollar was doing a pretty good job with the peg, and then it freaking took off. And everybody has their theories of why, but it's completely ridiculous and hilarious. But it's benefiting the bloggers on Steem, because these prices that you're seeing that we're getting paid, actually part of this, half of this is getting paid out in Steem backed dollars, and then we are selling that those Steem backed dollars for 12 times what it looks like we are. So we're benefiting greatly from that. Now let's talk a little bit about the history of BitShares. So Dan Larimer's first project, Graphene Blockchain, uses delegated proof of stake, just like Steem. That was his second project. And then EOS is his third project that'll be utilizing similar type technology. Now, who mines BitShares? Who mines Steem? The miners are called witnesses, and basically we vote them into power. So you see the witnesses that I voted for. BitShares is the same thing. A lot of these same witnesses, like Roland P., he's actually a witness over on BitShares. The more BitShares you own, the stronger your vote is. The more Steem you own in Steem power, the higher your vote is for these people. And why do we vote on certain people? It could be for development reasons, community reasons, like Good Karma. He's a great developer, really done a lot. Jesta, great developers, done a lot. Roland P., he's really done a great job with Steamfest, all these things, block trades. He has blocktrades.us. It's an exchange. You know, it's just like there's different reasons why you would vote for each one of these. Now, you might say, Brian, why don't you become a witness? You're pretty technical. Well, you know, that is a goal in the future and everything, but if you don't have enough kind of clout in the community and enough kind of power in the community to get enough people voting for you, then running a witness node will actually be unprofitable. So you really have to be set up for it, but I am setting up in the future. And so hopefully soon, within the next month or two, I will go ahead and put up a witness node. And hopefully, if you get in this top 20, it's actually very lucrative. I mean, literally, they're making like $500 a day running the witness nodes, you know. So that's that. Now, let's think about China and why people would gravitate towards that. This is Weibo. This is basically like Twitter for China, and they wanted everybody to register their real names. You can't access Facebook in there without going through VPNs and all these things. The crypto exchanges, you know, they're always trying to put the lockdown on them, that kind of stuff. So we do see these huge volumes and this huge surge from China. So I think that that's going to continue. That's another reason why I am, you know, bullish on Komodo as well, because there's a decentralized exchange called BarterDex, which uses atomic swaps on that. So I think this will continue to rise as well. I think BitShares will rise, but as time goes on, whether you trust the centralized exchanges or you've had some level of problems. I mean, I've had problems with Poloniex, I've had problems with HitBTC, I've had problems with Binance, you know, various levels of problems. I don't try to make my problem too big. I try to do smaller amounts. Like Binance, I've got 10 IOTA trapped on there. So it's not the end of the world, you know, because it's right around 50 bucks at this point, but I probably would have bought more if I could take it out. But you can't trust these exchanges. You know, you can only trust them for a little bit and keep giving them a chance, and then if you get screwed by one, then, you know, obviously you're gonna be pissed off. But trust me on this, if you don't own your keys, you don't own your coins. I have a friend that got Mt. Goxed, I have a friend that got Mint Palled, and I have a friend that got Cripsteed. And if you're newer to the space, maybe you don't know about any of those because they're gone and they left with the money. So I don't really know what happened to some of, like Mint Pal and Cripsy, we don't even know what happened. But another thing I just want to clarify, even though you're accessing this through a web page, it is decentralized. You still do own your keys. And that goes for the same thing with something like Steem, the Steem blockchain. Even though you're accessing this through a website, you still do own your keys. They don't see your keys. Like you have generated them on your local web browser, and you own this. You own this, and then also on blockchain.info, you own your keys. They don't ever see your keys. They don't have access to your keys. It's generated locally on your computer, and you control the keys. Same thing with my Ether wallet. So just to clarify that, I know that can be confusing. Sometimes people think that, well, I'm accessing it on a web page, so is this some kind of custodial thing that blockchain.info or that, like, you know, some entity who's running Steemit, which is Steemit Incorporated, do they kind of like hold my funds? And they don't. So, and it's not like, the thing is with something like Steem, it's decentralized. Like there's other ways to connect to the Steem blockchain. Same thing with BitShares. There's actually other exchanges that connect to the BitShares blockchain. But busy.org, this is a different way to connect to it. Oh man, Bernie Sanders at it again, guys. Look, he's raping the reward pool. This guy, we don't know who he is. He's crazy. It's kind of funny though. But anyway, you guys see why BitShares is going up. We got the Chinese volume, and from everything I've heard, the Chinese are the HODL champions of the world. Let's take a look at this. Let's see. Well, we'll look at it another time, guys. I was just going to see like if we're getting any kind of volume for Neo and that kind of stuff on BitShares. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys using BitShares? Do you think this is going to continue to go up? My assessment is it has more run in it, but that is obviously a pretty strong parabolic move, whether we have any kind of pullback or not. But it makes sense. These exchanges are wanting to peg with BitUSD. They're wanting something that's decentralized. The Chinese people want something that's decentralized in these different countries around the world where their governments are saying, no, you're on lockdown. You can't go to this side or that side. That's this exchange or whatever. You can't do that. People are like, watch me. And they're going to something like BitShares. So anyway, guys, subscribe to me. Like the video if you will. I'm trying to pump up the subs. And then follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, Steem it, Twitter, Instagram. See you guys later.